Hi, I'm Sarah Kane. I'm the Director of Operations for the Tru Advantage Team with Real Broker here in York.
And I'm Colin Boyer. I'm a realtor and team lead with the Tru Advantage team. And today we're talking about what is a buyer consultation and what is a buyer agency agreement. So, Sarah, what is a buyer consultation?
So, a consultation with our team is when we sit down, and it can look different depending. Sometimes these are in our office, sometimes these are when we're looking at a home, depending on how we first had our introductions. So, it's us coming in and asking a ton of questions, kind of giving you some homework on things that you're really looking to achieve when it comes to buying your home. So, Colin, help us understand, what is a buyer agency agreement?
Yes, so a buyer agency agreement is a document we go over at our consultation, whether it's here at our office or out at the home, depending on how we were introduced to each other. And it's going to spell out what it looks like to work together. How long are we going to be working together? What does the exclusivity mean whenever working together? And what are the fees? That's kind of the nice thing with having to do this prior to looking at a bunch of homes. There's no mutual mystification. We know exactly what it looks like to work together.
Awesome.
Another thing to maybe have you touch on, Sarah, is why do we sign these?
Yes, so there have been new regulations that have gone in place since August 17th, 2024. So the buyer agency agreement is something that our team has been very familiar with for many, many years. We've been fortunate enough to help over 3,000 families buy and sell homes locally. We sign this so that way we know we're committed to each other and we know what's expected of each other, because we truly believe the transparency makes the most sense when going into a business partnership such as this.
And because we have to now.
With
the new regulation, unfortunately, there really is no way getting around it.
Yeah, so no matter what agent you plan to work with, this is something that is going to be required, and they're at risk of losing license or being fined heavily if they don't do this. All right, Colin, so now that we have a little more knowledge of what's going on with the consult and what the buyer agency is, when do these get signed?
Yeah, so typically we have 2 different times that these are going to be signed. And again, it depends on how we're meeting as client and agent. So let's say we connected through Zillow or a home search portal where our first meeting is going out to look at the house. We'll sign a touring agreement, a non-exclusive document, to make sure that we work well together and we mesh when working through the process. So if we do it that way, we are going to sign it after our first meeting. So after our first meeting, we get rid of the non-exclusive and we say, if it makes sense to continue working together, this is what we're going to sign to continue working together. But if we are meeting with somebody different, maybe you were introduced to us through a family member or a friend, or maybe, you reached out to us because you saw some of our content online, we're going to schedule our consultation where you come into the office, or maybe we meet at a Starbucks or somewhere else that's local, depending on where you're looking at. And we would go through all of that there and sign that, because we can determine together while we're at the table, do we really want to work together, or would another agent, team, or brokerage be a better fit for you? And speaking of working with a team, what is the difference, Sarah, that you typically see when people are working with a team versus independently?
That's a great question. So there's a lot of beautiful things that happen when it comes to working with a team to support your mission of buying a home. Any agent that's on our team is not working alone. They have a whole team behind them to get them through. That means the knowledge is huge. We have so many people on the team that have so much incredible experience. They have other people that can help support our clients and them when it comes to maybe a last minute, we got to get in to see this property because it's going off the market, and maybe that teammate already has something going on. And then it comes down to, once we're under contract, we even have a whole team to back up our clients through transaction support. So making sure we are compliant, and I know that's boring, but it's very, very necessary to make sure we have things going on schedule and it's not chaos.
There's a lot of deadlines that have to be hit between inspections, appraisals, getting your financing figured out. So if our agents are out running on a bunch of appointments and they're super busy helping a lot of clients, sometimes it's hard to keep all of those dates organized. So we have a transaction coordinator that does all of that for us. And if one of our agents is on vacation or has a very important family thing that they cannot cannot miss. We've got other agents on the team that can make sure you can get into the home so you're not missing out on seeing what you want to see.
Yeah, it's our belief that teams definitely make sense
Yeah.
when we're trying to accomplish those goals. All right, Colin, so now that we're a little more educated on next steps to potentially work together, what's next?
Yeah, so what's next is kind of what we talked about here in this video. It's going and either seeing the homes to determine if we want to keep working together, and maybe we even like the home and want to start writing offers, or it's setting up the consultation to see what does a realistic path go from now to keys and closing. So next we get together and meet face to face or over Zoom, and we go through what those agreements look like, if it makes sense to work together, and if not, if we can introduce you to somebody else.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for listening in, and we are so looking forward to getting to know you and anybody else that's on that journey along with you.